Good morning. This is Quiet Echo. I'm Lars Olson. It's Wednesday, and today I need to tell you about something that could take your house. I do not say that to scare you. I say it because nobody else is saying it, and somebody should. They are called zombie mortgages. If you have never heard the term, stay with me. By the end of this, you will know whether you are at risk, and you will know what to do about it. Here is the short version. Before the 2008 financial crisis, banks issued millions of second mortgages, home equity loans, lines of credit, those 80-20 piggyback loans they used to hand out so buyers could finance a house with nothing down. When the housing market collapsed, those second loans became worthless. The houses were not worth enough to cover the first mortgage, let alone the second. Banks stopped sending statements. In some cases, they told borrowers the debt was forgiven. In other cases, borrowers went through bankruptcy and believed the second lien was discharged. Either way, the debt went quiet. No letters. No phone calls. Nothing for 10 years, 15 years. Then home prices came back. That house you bought for $200,000 in 2005 and, which was worth $120,000 in 2009 and might be worth $400,000 today. And suddenly, that dead second mortgage has value again. So here is what happened. Investors and debt collection firms started buying those old second mortgages in bulk, sometimes for 3 or 4 cents on the dollar. $1 million in dead loans for $30,000 or $40,000. Then, they contact the homeowner and say, "You owe us." Not the original $30,000. Not even close. They want the original balance plus retroactive interest for every month that passed. Every month they never sent a statement, never made a phone call, never gave any indication the debt was alive. A couple in Madison, Ohio, Jerry and Sharon Lamerno, took out a $30,000 second mortgage in 2006. They went through bankruptcy. They were told the debt was discharged. For 15 years, they heard nothing. Then one morning, the phone rang. A man from a company called SMS Financial told Jerry he owed roughly $80,000, and if he did not pay, they would take his house. A single father in Bowie, Maryland, named Terrence Hardin bought his home 20 years ago. 4 bedrooms, nice yard. Raised his family there. He lost that house to a zombie mortgage he did not know existed. A woman in Northern Virginia named Sophia Lipford. She is a surgical technician. Her husband is a contractor. Got a foreclosure letter on a second mortgage she and her husband believed was settled years ago. She told NPR, "I saw this foreclosure letter, and I just panicked and started to cry. We're gonna lose our home." Bloomberg News estimates more than 600,000 second mortgages issued before the crisis could come back to life this way. NPR found that in New York State alone, foreclosure actions had been filed on 10,000 of these old loans in just the past 2 years. PBS NewsHour ran a full investigation last week, and yet, most people I talk to have never heard the term zombie mortgage. One debt buyer described his business model on a podcast. He said, and I want you to hear this, if he buys $1 million worth of non-performing second mortgages, he expects to collect $2.2 to $2.5 million. He said homeowners are usually in denial at first. They say they do not owe it. They say it was charged off. And then, his words, "We will start the foreclosure process." That is not lending. That is not investing. That is hunting. Now, there was supposed to be a watchman for this. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was created after the 2008 crisis specifically to stop predatory debt collection. The Bureau had warned that federal law requires debt collectors to send periodic statements. It said it is illegal to sue homeowners on debts past the statute of limitations. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was investigating zombie mortgage collectors. Then the Trump administration shut down the Bureau's enforcement work last February. The watchman walked off the wall. So here we are. The banks made the loans. The banks collapsed. The government spent billions modifying first mortgages, but left millions of second mortgages in limbo. The agency built to clean up the mess got gutted. And now private debt collectors are harvesting what is left, one family at a time. I bring this to Cedar Valley because I want you to protect yourselves. If you bought a home before 2008 and took out any kind of second mortgage or home equity line, even if you were told it was forgiven, even if you went through bankruptcy, even if you have not heard a word about it in 15 years, you need to check your title. Go to the county recorder's office. Look for active liens on your property. If a lien is still recorded, the debt is not dead. It does not matter what someone told you on the phone in 2009. If a debt collector contacts you about an old second mortgage, here is what you do. Do not pay anything. Do not confirm the debt on the phone. Do not panic. Contact an attorney who understands mortgage law in your state. Legal aid societies handle these cases. Attorney Christy Kelly has filed class action lawsuits against zombie mortgage collectors on behalf of homeowners who were charged retroactive interest for years. They never received a single statement. File a complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Even in its current state, the record matters. And tell your neighbors. Tell your family. Tell the person at church who bought their house in 2005 and has not thought about their second mortgage since 2009. In Cedar Valley, we believe a man should pay what he owes. I have never argued otherwise. But we also believe that when a bank tells you a debt is gone, it should be gone. When a bankruptcy court discharges a lien, it should stay discharged. And when a debt collector shows up 15 years later with a bill swollen by interest that was never disclosed, never documented, and never sent to you in a single statement, that is not commerce. That is a shakedown. Nobody in this town should lose their home to a debt they were told was dead. Not while I have a voice and you have a minute to listen. Check your title. Spread the word. And if something does not look right, do not wait. The zombie does not knock twice. This has been Quiet Echo. I'm Lars Olson. Take care of your house. Quiet Echo will be back tomorrow. This podcast is part of the fictional Cedar Valley News series. While the people and town are fictional, the national events they reflect on are real. Want to know the full story behind Cedar Valley? Teresa, Caleb, Dan, and the community you've come to know in these editorials first came together in Quiet Echo. Discover how a small town found its way from fear to fellowship, one quiet act of courage at a time. Available on Amazon.
You've been listening to the Cedar Valley News Podcast, where small-town voices meet the headlines shaping our world. From faith and family to front porches and fields. We'll be back with more stories connecting real lives to real events. Until next time, keep your porch light on, your faith strong, and your heart open.